Okay, go.
Serena now.
Okay. For group two group period two, our selection is from the interesting narrative of the life of Olaudah Equiano. Some main ideas are the different perspectives it gives on the Middle Passage and the savage whites. It gives a voice for the slaves and their stolen freedom because of the detachment from the homeland. This quote explains how the British government took over the African slaves.
Equiano was kidnapped into slavery in West Africa. He was separated from his family, and he never saw his sister again. There, as a slave, he traveled across West Africa, serving multiple masters. He was treated with respect by some of them, but not all.
This quote explains how attached he felt when he was separated from his sister.
Slaves were part of the triangular trade.
And many also died on the Middle Passage because they were stuck together and treated like cargo.
The third quote explains how the more time the slaves spent with the whites, the more they saw how cruel they were.
The goals of importation was to sell the slaves to a new world for profit. They kept the slaves barely alive because they needed them for profit when they were supposed to be kept in good conditions.
Useless slaves were often called deadweight. The unsatisfactory slaves were left to die. The dead were thrown overboard.
The treatment of the slaves contradicted because they were suffocated and chained like dogs.
Slaves would rather die. Some preferred to drown. Punishment for trying to escape or refusing to eat led to whipping. This quote explains how the author describes how he'd rather be water than himself. He sees how peaceful and free it is.
The Americans the Americans were inhuman to the slaves, and they treated the slaves as cargo. This is similar to the discrimination between Caucasians and African Americans in South Carolina. This quote shows how Africans were being used for the luxury and lust for the American gain. We're excited